don't wake him," the maid whispered to her daughter as they stepped quietly into the billionaire's penthouse suite. The polished marble floors gleamed beneath their feet, and the sound of the city's skyline hummed faintly through the towering glass windows. On the enormous leather couch lay William Hartman, one of the richest men in the country. His tailored suit jacket rested neatly on the armrest, his gold watch glimmered in the dim light, and his eyes were closed. To anyone else, he looked fast asleep. But William wasn't sleeping. He was pretending. For weeks, he had been watching his maid, Denise, a hard-working black single mother who had recently started working for him. She came every morning with her 10-year-old daughter, Alana, because she couldn't afford daycare. Normally, William ignored them both. In his world of billion-dollar deals and corporate meetings, they were invisible. But one night, curiosity struck him. He wondered, what do they really do when they think no one is watching? Do they steal? Do they snoop? Or was there something more? So today, he decided to test them. He lay back on the couch, feigning sleep, and waited. Denise quietly began her work, dusting and tidying. Meanwhile, little Alana tiptoed around the room, staring at the massive bookshelves and expensive art. She paused when she noticed William's wallet on the coffee table. William's eyes, barely open, focused on her. This was it, the moment of truth. Would the maid's kid take the bait? But what Alana did next made William's heart stop. Alana picked up the wallet with her small hands. William's breath hitched. He had stuffed it with cash intentionally. He wanted to see what she'd do. She slowly opened it, her curious eyes scanning the bills inside. The temptation was right there. A single $100 bill would change her and her mother's entire week. William's fingers curled against the couch. This was the test. But then, Alana pulled something else out of the wallet. Not the cash. Not the shiny credit cards. It was a crumpled family photo, an old picture of William with his late wife and their little boy, taken years ago before tragedy had stolen them away. Alana stared at the photo for a long moment. Then she carefully placed the wallet back exactly as it was, smoothing it down, so it looked untouched. But she wasn't finished. She picked up a scrap of paper and a pencil from her backpack. Slowly, she began sketching. Her little hands worked quietly as her mother cleaned in the background. Minutes later, she placed her drawing on the coffee table. A simple sketch of William's family photo, redrawn with care and a child's gentle touch. William's heart squeezed painfully in his chest. He hadn't seen anyone touch that photo in years. No one dared mention his family. And now, this little girl he had ignored was bringing them back to life with a child's drawing. He froze, unable to breathe. This wasn't the reaction he expected. Not theft, not greed, but kindness. And it shook him to his core. When Denise finished cleaning, she turned to her daughter. "Alana, time to go." The little girl nodded, leaving the drawing behind. She never even looked at the money again. Once they were gone, William sat up, staring at the sketch. His hand trembled as he touched the pencil lines. Memories of his wife and son flooded back. For years, he had buried his pain under work, money, and power. But somehow, this child had reached into his broken heart in ways no one else could. The next day, William asked Denise to come to his office. She looked nervous, twisting her hands. "Sir, if Alana did anything wrong, I promise." "She didn't," William interrupted gently. "In fact, she reminded me of something I'd forgotten." Denise blinked in surprise. "I lost my family years ago," William admitted, his voice cracking. "I thought I'd never feel anything again. But your daughter, she gave me back a piece of them." He slid the drawing across his desk. "This means more to me than you could ever know." Tears filled Denise's eyes. She looked down, ashamed. "Sir, I never wanted to bring her here, but I can't afford daycare. I know it's unprofessional." William leaned forward. "Denise, you've been raising her alone, haven't you?" She nodded, swallowing hard. "Her father left before she was born. I worked 3 jobs just to keep a roof over our heads. Some days, I don't even eat so she can." For the first time, William truly saw her. Not as a maid, not as an employee, but as a mother fighting to survive. And in that moment, he made a decision. The following week, William called Denise and Alana into the penthouse again. This time, He was waiting with something unexpected. "Denise," he began, "I want to offer you a full-time position, not as my maid, but as my personal household manager. Better pay, benefits, and most importantly, a future for your daughter." Denise gasped. "Sir, I don't know what to say." "Say yes," William said with a small smile. Alana tugged on her mother's sleeve. "Mommy, does that mean you won't be so tired all the time?" Denise broke into tears, hugging her daughter tightly. "Yes, baby. Yes, it does." But William wasn't finished. He bent down to Alana's level and handed her a brand new sketchbook with her name embossed on the cover. "You have a gift," he told her softly. "I want you to keep drawing. Someday, the world will need to see your art." Alana's face lit up brighter than the city lights outside the penthouse. For the first time in years, William felt something he thought was gone forever: hope. Months passed, and everything changed. Denise now walked with pride, no longer burdened by exhaustion and fear. Alana thrived in school, her sketchbook filling with drawings that told stories far bigger than her little hands could express. William became more than just their employer. He became their protector, their supporter, and eventually their family. One evening, as he watched Alana draw at the dining table, William thought about that day he had pretended to sleep. A day that started as a cold test of character, but ended as the beginning of a new life for all of them. He realized now that money could buy almost anything, but it couldn't buy the purity of a child's heart. And in Alana's small act of kindness, he had found redemption. Because sometimes, the most powerful lessons don't come from boardrooms or billion-dollar deals. They come from a little girl's drawing left behind on a coffee table.